Hey guys, what's up? This is another episode of Bodybuilder Cheat Sheet, which is simply me looking at my huge database of past great bodybuilders and looking at their routines and their training philosophies and sharing it with you guys. I mean, whether I share it with you guys or not, I still look at everybody's philosophy just to kind of look for common threads and see, um, learn new things. And the more I look at somebody who has a great physique, the more I look at their history and their philosophy on training, and the more I notice patterns, things that we thought were myths but were really true, and things that are consistent in every great champion routine. So Sergio Oliva, I'm not gonna give you his biography. Go to Wikipedia, look him up. You should know him. He's one of the greatest Mr. Olympias. This guy had huge arms. He was well known for his arms. What I do is every time I want to bring up a body part, whether it's lagging or not, I look at history. I told you guys history is the biggest ally. I look at people that already had, that body part that I'm looking for, and I look at what they were doing. I look at a whole bunch of them, and I don't care about steroids and all that bullshit, genetics, whatever. If they're doing something that everybody else is doing, right? Something generic, and they're growing, they're getting results, then obviously, yeah, you could say steroids, you could say genetics. But when somebody has a phenomenal body part, but they're doing something completely different than what everybody else is doing, don't be quick to jump on the genetics and steroids wagon. Like I said, they all had great genetics. They were all using some kind of pro hormones at the time, but they didn't all look the same. So and they also had different training styles. So you gotta look at training styles. If you notice that all the great champions have one thing in common in their training routines, then common fucking sense. So one thing that I noticed about Sergio Olivier, I pretty much focused on his arms, right? I didn't want to look at his back, chest workouts, whatever. I kind of took a little glance at it, but I'm objective. If I want a body part, I look at who has that body part that's fucking huge, and I just look at that. So let's focus on arms for Sergio Olivier. His philosophy on training arms, he used to train arms twice a week, right? Like most great bodybuilders back in the days. I keep telling you guys, frequency, frequency. I told you my three number one rules, my top three rules for building muscle: heavyweight, time under tension, frequency. Those are the top three that I've noticed every single great physique had. They were lifting heavy weights. They were training with higher frequency than that bullshit once a week crap. That thing only works if you're already um, overdeveloped. Because once the muscle is fully developed, you can train that shit once every 2 weeks. So you don't need a lot to maintain it. But yeah, frequency and time on attention. They were doing drop sets, supersets. All these things, intensity techniques to prolong the time on attention. So he trained each body part twice a week. Now you gotta understand that's each body part, not just arms. So that tells you that how many times was he training arms really? 4 times a week. Because if he's doing biceps twice a week, he's also doing back twice a week because he's training every body part twice a week. So that means he was training biceps 4 times a fucking week. That's a lot of volume. A lot of people get butt hurt, whatever. But like I said, I'm just telling you guys what this guy was doing. Use that and filter the good. Throw out the bad. So also triceps. He had huge triceps. You can't have big arms, without having big triceps. He was also doing triceps twice a week. And if you look at his chest workouts, it also has tricep work. When you use your chest, when you use bench press movements, you use your triceps. So frequency, you know. And another thing that he was big on was lifting heavy. So he was big on training body parts twice a week, each and every body part. He was big on lifting heavy. He used to be a weightlifter back in Cuba, uh, and he was very very big on compound sets and supersets for his arms. Really really big on that. He would do like he would do compound sets, like he would do a bicep curl and then do like a push down all in one rotation, or he'll do just supersets like two bicep exercises back to back or two tricep exercises back to back. So he was really big on lifting heavy, but at the same time using time on the tension and shocking the muscle. And obviously, like most people that have great arms, he had an arm day, a day just for arms. So guys, take that. Pick out what you can use for your routines. If you're lagging in the arm department, use one of these principles. Train them twice a week. Have an arm day. Use supersets and compound sets, and go heavy. Go heavy on those barbell curls and press downs. So this is really nothing new. Just stuff that's been around for a long time that a lot of us just you know take for granted. So yeah, guys, hope that helps. By the way, if you don't know who it is, I suggest you look him up. This guy had an amazing physique. He had a tiny waist, and his arms were bigger than his head, and his legs. At one point, each of his leg was bigger than his waist. That's ridiculous. really crazy. He was a genetic freak. That's true, but he was also really, really, a really strong guy. Mentally, physically. So Sergio Oliva, learn from the greatest guys. Hope this helps. It definitely helped me out. I already took my fucking notes. Take it easy.